don't look at a speaker as a moving ATM. I want to be honest. Because me, I had feared coming to office. You come to office, members have already surrounded you. If I don't have 10 million, 20 million, I don't enter office. I hide from you. Each one of us will receive salary. Okay? I think let us really not behave as if others, No, let us all share our poverty, money together, but that business, that's what has caused us problem, because you put us on too much pressure. I saw some of you have been talking, Tayebwa is mean, Tayebwa is mean. Mean when I've been giving 10 million on your functions. I give 10 million and someone is portrayed as mean. Hey, where will I get that money? Won't I be forced to divert your money and I give it to you by other means? Kindly, let us support each other. The financial pressure on your presiding officers, I request you bear with us. You bear with us so that we can now, instead of only those who can access me being the ones to benefit, we would rather have a system which is very clear on how each one of you can benefit whatever small it might be. You don't need it first come and beg me to be my friend. No, it should be through a well-defined system. I think that will help all of us, really, to be objective, to be clear, not to look at this one as having, this one more kind, this one what? No. But all of us as respectful and legislators. So we've learned, I'm saying all this because I've shared with my senior from the lessons I've learned. These are lessons. That's the advantage of institutional memory. And then please, respect our staff. We have situations where members of parliament travel and they say, staff, book for us a car, transport. And you, a staff whom you've earned more than double of their per diem, you want them to pay for your transport. Some of the members, we borrow money from staff and we don't even pay. And they get scared and sometimes they come to us. They say, but I borrowed my 5 million. What do I do? When I talk, he looks at me. So I hope that one will change. Finally, so we are going to put all money. I can give an example. In tennis parliament, I traveled 4 times. I never went to the speaker to ask for travel. It's my chairman of committee who would see that I merit it and I'm going to add value. And then he would put me on a list. So as presiding officers, we shall be clearing lists submitted by chairpersons, not by you who are good at lobbying. And reminding us how I fought for you, Tayebwa, to go into this post. Now you have forgotten me. I never got any trip from you. If you come and you say you didn't travel, I will say, go and ask your chairman. And then we shall require the chairpersons to declare those badges fully to the members. Because we also don't want a chairperson to travel 5 times. I know a chairperson who used all money for the committee for travel himself. And he lost an election. I know him. Members came and talked. So the clerks will be guided. Once we get this man and we put it in committees, okay? We put it in committees. They should draw a schedule. Where do you want to go? What activities are you going to do? And are you attending? You don't even attend a committee and you want to be the first one on the list of travel. You've never signed a committee report, but you want to be on a plane every day. I think that impunity has to stop. Yeah? I think it has to stop. It has to stop. Even if I serve one more Sanja and I go, but I do believe we must go back to the basics on that issue. We are going to, my senior already said, we are going to realign the budget. We get most of the funds, we put it to the service of members through their committees, so that you are felt in the. I remember when a committee, for example, visits your constituency, it gives you huge mileage. Your people say, even you brought colleagues here, and you address very critical issues. So we are going to be looking at that. And then, and you will bear with us, because we've talked about it, that there will be no single travel, there will be no issuing of a ticket to you if your per diem is not available and you get it in advance. Because I've come to understand some of you, there is an Indian down there, is the one who gives you money for per diem, for accommodation and all that when you travel. We issue you a ticket, we don't give you per diem. That has to stop. If money is not in the budget, if it's not yet released, then no travel. You wait. Is the world going to end? Because what does it take for us to say travel? And then by the time you pay per diem, the interest of a Muindi has already consumed it. Oh, you got to sleep in a hotel of $20 because you're broke. So all those, we are going to ensure that we streamline. And maybe this most important issue, we are going to give you, but crack, I would propose this one also changes. Many of us have eaten ourselves into sickness. Because you are attending, for example, you were a councillor, now you're a member of parliament. In council they couldn't even give soda. Here they are going to put sumbusa, mandazi, chapati. Those things really give us a bad image. Because those pictures are captured before people who have no something to eat. I got other parliaments, they only give water. We are in a committee, you have sumbusa, chapati, muogo. You're about to add marakwanga. In a committee. And yet we have a canteen. To me, my proposal would be, in a committee we serve water. If you need breakfast, there is a canteen. Go in. Okay? Have canteen. So, but we have a gym down here. Colleagues, we want each one of you to be comfortable, to know you will be treated equally. We don't want to have members and members. No. Like my principle which I use, I cannot allow you to talk 3 times before another member has spoken. You know, some of the people come and say, hey, when I started that thing, people could say, but I'm a senior here. I said, no. You might find, by the way, the one you're calling a junior found it much easier to come to this house than you. Okay? So we took the same route of the ballot. Whether you are a senior or not, when we say 3 minutes, okay, please follow the rules. And each one of us must be treated equally. We don't want to have people who are favored on the floor and others are scared. No. Each one of us must have the courage to come up and know that they are going to speak and represent their people, because they came with the mandate of the people. They didn't come with the mandate of how many books they have. Okay? Whether you're a PhD. Of course, we have circumstances. I can give an example. When we are on taxation matters, we always call lean on the wise counsel of Honorable Kateshumba because of his expertise. I know if I have issues to do with infrastructure and they are much deeper, I can't fail to lean on the wise counsel of Honorable Mary Kutesa, the former legal director in UNRWA, because she understands it deeply. I know if I'm on issues of national security and coordination, I can't fail to go to General Tumukunde, to Honorable Wanyoto, who was a deputy head of mission at AMISOM. You know, things of that nature happen. But that doesn't mean that we have to suffocate the rest of the members. So I want you to be confident, to know you will be given, even if your qualification is senior 6, you'll be given the same opportunity as Professor Kamuntu, the veteran. So we want to support you. And our door remains open for consultation, engagement, and support as we work together towards a responsive, independent, and people-centered parliament. I know most of the experience I had 5 years, for 5 years. Colleagues, don't fear to come and share your critical issues. We have gone to the extent of solving marriage-related issues. We had here situations where a husband turned themselves into a driver, himself into a driver of the wife. He comes, he drops the wife here, and he parks down, and he sits there to see whoever greets the wife. You know, some of us love joking, hugging. You see your colleague saying, but colleague, please, you know, me hugs, stop there. Outside there are cameras. But we are colleagues, what's the problem with hugging? Then only to understand the husband is watching. We have a place where drivers usually sit. Maybe crack, we shall get them a better place. They usually sit there to spy on their wives. Okay? So one of them called me, said, I have this problem. Because a colleague wouldn't be peaceful. And I called the husband, I said, I'm sorry, we have enough security for all members of parliament here. Your wife is secure here. I no longer want you. You're not a gazetted driver. Or register as a driver so that we can know. And then we shall be giving you where to sit as a driver, not as a spy. We have some of us, we have some exhibits in the public in terms of human beings. And they come and tell us, and they demand, we want you to attach salary, we want you to do that. And we call colleagues. And these are things which are normal. It takes all sorts of people to make up this world. We are human beings. I don't know why the public expects us to be like robots. We are human beings. We are repentant sinners. Okay? So don't fear coming to the speaker and sharing. I was hearing those who are saying, no, you know, we have issues of women, we talk. I think I have addressed issues of women much more than issues of men. Many issues of women than issues of men. I have a colleague in the 10th parliament, in the 11th parliament, who came to me, had been diagnosed with cancer. And I'm there. She comes to my office crying. And this is where I want to appreciate the crack, because sometimes we get situations of that nature. And I had no answer, I had no what. So immediately, the speaker was not around, so I called the crack, said, let's get a solution. We got a solution because sometimes the medical board, and I think crack, I want to talk to the speaker. We have a meeting with the medical board. They don't clear our members. Ministers are cleared quickly, but members of parliament are not. I want us to have a dialogue with them on that issue, especially women who have very unique issues. So we just sent a member to Nairobi, and they found the member had no cancer, but they were going to cut off her breast. You know? So when we are here, we are colleagues. And part of the reason for orientation, honorable colleagues, is for you to know each other. Don't sit with people from your region. Don't sit with people from your constituency. We are orienting. I can see Sinjiro group. But I know the one who has done it. They have, you know, Sinjiro yesterday sponsored a candidate for speaker. So, and I can see the second is the one who has mobilized. Not the candidate for DP, the mother is from Sinjiro. So the seconder is appreciating them. Please, don't go on a table. We are in orientation. You're from the same district and you're seated together. From the same region and you. Then how are you orienting? How will you know other colleagues? So you mix. You mix. It's a time of orienting and knowing each other. Okay? Yes. Huh? So I will request that on Thursday, let's get a seating arrangement where people from, just make a move. If you find a person from your district or from your region, move to another table where there are people you don't know. That is how we develop comradeship in this house. That's how we develop comradeship, and that's how we defend each other. Because for us here, if I go to your constituency, I don't need to know whether you're opposition or not. You're a member of parliament and you're a colleague. I support you. And we usually use the language. I go and say, you people, the other opposition people are bad, but this one is good. Huh? I'll find a way of packaging it. And you'll be invited to the induction seminar in June, as the clerk announced earlier. These programs have been carefully designed to support your transition into parliamentary life and to equip you with the knowledge, understanding, and skills necessary to effectively execute your constitutional mandate. This week in particular, we'll address the rules of procedure for the Parliament of Uganda. Colleagues, we apply rules. We can do it strictly, or I would say reservedly, depending on the mood. When a speaker is in the chair, read their mood. We also have problems outside. I'm just entering the house and a bank calls me reminding me about my dates. I'll go in. And then you enter, someone says, order or procedure. You say, under what rule? He lies to you. Oh, he's Anganzi. So, but kind of read these rules. It's our Bible. You cannot be a preacher if you don't understand the Bible. What are you going to preach? So you will not be an effective member of parliament if you don't understand the rules. And we have very able staff. These staff who are here, I can tell you they are encyclopedias on these issues. So please take advantage of them. Don't fear to ask. Don't fear to ask. Where you're not sure, don't stand up and you start citing. No, you can say according to the rules. Okay? You can say according to the rules. But then when you're saying according to the rules, do it in a humble way. Not in a forceful way when you don't even know the rule. Because you say, if you come and say, Mr. Speaker, according to the rules, I say, which rule? Huh? Yeah, which rule? But I said according to the rules. No, we have a specific rule. Is it rule 5? Because it's so, and then you go Anganzi. So it's very, very important for you to understand the rules, but also to be humble in whatever you are doing, from submission to how you treat colleagues and how you want to show that you're clever. As the leadership of the House, under the stewardship of the Right Honorable Jacob Oboso-Boss, like he said, these developments demand a parliament that is adaptive, innovative, and responsive to the changing needs of society. Understanding the shifts from within and across the borders should influence legislation and representation roles. You are going to be compared to the 6th Parliament, to the 7th Parliament, to the 8th Parliament, to the 9th Parliament. But those were parliaments when there was no social media. The level of scrutiny of today, even a person who has never entered class is able to go on TikTok, do a video, and hold you accountable. We are in totally different kind of world. When people compare us, because I read the Hansard, and colleagues, I urge you to go back to the Hansard, because like for me, whenever I chair house, the next day I ask for a record of the Hansard. And I even go on YouTube. I get the videos. I see how I conducted myself. When you submit, you will need to go back and see how did I submit. When I'm facing difficult times, I go to other Commonwealth countries. I see how is the speaker. The other day I saw the speaker of UK, how he was shouting at a member. Even about to jump out of a chair and grab and say, go out, go, 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 go. But if you do it here, ho, 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 ho. But the country we copy, that's the language they use. You know? So the different styles, how we submit, how we, you know. So all this is going to be critical for you. Before you get off the floor, the video has saturated in your constituency. So, honorable colleagues, we have to be extremely cautious. If you go in public, how you eat. For example, me, I never allow a camera on me when I'm eating. Well, these guys will target when you open your mouth and they take a picture. And that will go viral. You know? How you sit. These days also, even when you're talking among yourselves, and there are videos on you. AI is moving at a very, very high speed. Someone will go put in your video, it will translate, it will read your lips. So you who is backbiting quiet and you say, I'm not listening to you, the whole country and the whole world will listen to you when you're backbiting. So these are not ordinary times. So I'm happy the clerk and team are going to equip you to prepare for these very, very critical times that we become members of parliament, when the level of scrutiny is extremely, extremely, extremely high.